All right, everyone. Welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. It has been a minute, guys. I do apologize. We had a family weekend. It was really, really fun. Wasn't exactly what my wife and I had in mind, but at the end of the day, we've got a toddler who just, is going to change her mind at the last minute. You got to kind of stay on your toes. But it was a fun weekend all around, so do apologize. I wasn't uploading as much as I normally do, but we're going to get back on track here, guys, and we are going to be talking about Jedi Master Kenobi today. And with Jedi Master Kenobi, similar to the other GL farming guys, we're going to go through we're going to look a little bit different here, right? I'm going to put it out here right now. This one's going to look a little bit different because his requirements are one of those GLs that, you're kind of going to have like things kind of spattered here and there, right? And so you're going to build things for different reasons here. So I've kind of broken them out in different sections for you guys, as always. Now, before we get into that, guys, I do want to highlight that I am going to be doing some other videos like this. I'm just trying to wrap up this series, so make sure to keep your eyes open for Rey, Profundity. And if you guys want to see other stuff like this, right, let me know what characters you're thinking of. I'd be happy to make those as well. Now, of course, as always in every video we do here, we must first give praise to our King, Wampa, and just say from the bottom of our hearts, Wampa, we love you, and you are King. Guys, if you want to see Wampa hit Relic 8, make sure you smash that subscribe button. We need to hit 5,000 subscribers, all right? I get it's a lot, but trust me, it's going to be worth it when we get to relegate our Wampa. All right, so let's talk about Kenobi, his Rex. So, first one right here. Do not be fooled. Commander Tano is a requirement for this Galactic Legend. I don't care that she's not in the Journey Guide. She is a requirement. Without Commander Tano, Jedi Master Kenobi loses, I don't want to say all of his value, but a lot of it. Because General Skywalker 501st will completely demolish your Jedi Master Kenobi. Will completely demolish them. And if you don't believe me, one, I do it anytime I see one in Territory Wars. It's hilarious. But the other thing, guys, is that she just is so important that if you don't, take her seriously and, make her a requirement for this, you're going to just handicap yourself. So my advice, right, and I've said this so many times, do not even think about Jedi Master Kenobi until you're ready for Commander Tano, or else you're going to have a Galactic Legend that you can't do 90% of the cool stuff with, right? So, Commander Tano first. Don't be fooled, guys, right? All right, second, we've got the Hello There tier. So, General Kenobi and General Grievous are in here. Obviously makes sense. They're two fantastic characters. General Grievous is actually probably a tier above General Kenobi in terms of they're both fleet commanders. They're both very good. I think the Malevolence fleet has a little bit more off-meta viability than Kenobi's does, right, with the Negotiator. Defensively, Kenobi's Negotiator is 100 times better. It's not even a competition. The thing is, General Grievous is a leader on his team, right, and you almost always use General Grievous droids in GAC, so definitely a really good team there. Now, Cad Bane being in this list is here because of the Executor. So, if you're someone who has Executor and for some reason you haven't listened to a word I've ever said and didn't have your Cad Bane relic, do it now. This is how I ended up relicking my Cad Bane. I went through that Executor farm already knowing that I had a Relic 5 Cad Bane for Kenobi. So really, really pleased with how I did that. Put him up here in this tier just to make sure that people already have him, right? You guys should have him if you're listening to anything I say. So there's the first three, really four characters, right? Commander Tano, General Kenobi, General Grievous, Cad Bane. This way you're going to have the two fleet commanders, right, at their relic levels. Commander Tano is obviously a fantastic character with Padme teams. And then Cad Bane, again, is a pilot, just kind of doing some work. All right, so next is what I call your squad lifters, right? You guys hear me talk about these a lot. But these are all characters that are going to make squads better, right? So Jango Fett, he can go into so many different things, right? He's a separatist. He's a bounty hunter. He's a Mandalorian. He's a scoundrel. So many tags. So you can just kind of plug him into whatever team you want. But he just lifts them. He makes them better, right? Magna Guard makes General Grievous droids infinitely better. And obviously with relics, he gets better, right? He becomes much more of a tank. Someone who, he's one of those characters. He's kind of like an unsung hero in that team that before I had him at relics, I was just like, it's Magna Guard. But once I got him to relic levels, guys, he can really get thick. So I really like having Magna Guard. Definitely one of the early characters in this farm that you want to relic. Shaak Ti is next at relic 7, guys. Again, she's one of those characters that She is really good with clones. I know a lot of people kind of get her to like Relic 3, Relic 5 for the recommission, right? Get Kaidi Mundi shards. She's a really just good plug-and-play Jedi. There's a lot of ways you can use her. You could put her with like a Qui-Gon Jinn Omicron team. You could put her with like Jedi Knight Revan, Jedi Master Luke. There's a lot of ways to use her. Padme. So I kind of like having her there. She just kind of lifts whatever team she's in. She makes them difficult to beat. And then Grandmaster Yoda, similar to Shaak Ti, he doesn't fit into, I would say, as many situations because he can't be used with like clones. But Grandmaster Yoda just allows you to spam turns. Like under Jedi Master Kenobi, I would say Yoda kind of loses value because his whole kit is based around turn meter. But with every other Jedi team, he just gets so good. So those are the next 4 characters that I would do, right? So you're building fleet stuff up here, and then down in here, it's about building those squad lifting units, right? So next, I would do Qui-Gon Jinn, Aayla Secura, and Mace Windu. This is because I would then apply the Omicron to Qui-Gon Jinn if you don't have it already. This Omicron is probably one of the best GAC Omicrons when it comes to value. That like, if you don't have this Omicron, you might use Mace Windu, but you won't use Qui-Gon Jinn, like you won't use Aayla Secura, right? With this Omicron, I have them on defense. It's gotten me holds, right? It gets me holds still because people don't always understand how to counter it. But, outside of, GAC, right, they definitely lose their value. Mace Windu is a very good character. I would love to get him higher than Relic 3. I just have not had the time for it. Aayla does have some pretty decent uses. She's got a stun on her basic. But again, guys, just kind of building up these GR Jedi, right? Eventually, you're going to need them for something, right? All right. So next we're going to talk about is Clone Sergeant and Wat Tambor. Now, you're kind of getting into that tier of like, just you got to do it, right? But these guys actually can be useful, right? The longer Wat Tambor survives, he's going to get out more of his tech, right? He's got a bigger health pool. Just, he's got a really good, unique ability that I think sometimes goes under the radar, right? That Separatist and Dark Side droid allies gain max protection equal to 30% of his health. So obviously with relic levels, he's going to get more and more health. So he's going to be giving out about over 30,000 protection to Dark Side droid and Separatist allies. So a really, really good, unique there. But because he doesn't actually deal damage, relic levels don't really help him like they do other characters, so kind of have him at the end. Clone Sergeant is a pilot, so he can be useful. Here's the one thing I'll say. This ship has a ridiculously high reinforcement priority. I've seen this ship come in before Plo Koon, and if Plo Koon would have come in, the fleet would have gotten a hold. But because this ship came in, they lost. And it happens all the time. So I don't even use this ship at my level on defense. On offense, I will use this ship, but it's really one that can be useful in situations. But Clone Sergeant, not really that good. Not a character that I would ever really think about utilizing, in my personal opinion. I don't really use him, but there are situations where he can be useful, right? Gotta put the note out there. And then last but not least is Bo-Katan and Commander Cody. You gotta do it, right? You've gotta have these characters. Bo-Katan can be useful with Mandalorians, right? Absolutely can be useful with Mandalorians. What I'll say is that it's not worth, if you have a Mandalorian team already built, then you could, highly prioritize her because you'd want to get her, right? But I wouldn't build a Mandalorian team just because you got her. She's not one you build a Mandalorian team for. You build a Mandalorian team for Maul, right? You don't build it because of her. Her leadership is not that good for the Mandalorians. It's really just Maul who's the best one there. So, I don't know. My personal opinion, guys, is that she's definitely one of the last ones to do here. Along with Commander Cody, who you could plug in with the Bad Batch. I don't know. The thing is, I gave him his Zeta really thinking that maybe he would get a rework. Maybe that, we'd get some more, clones for our, his 2-1-12, right? Just never really came to fruition. So unfortunately, he's kind of that character that you've just got to finish off for this farm, right? Now, keep in mind the other thing you need for this Galactic Legend is the Negotiator at 7 stars, right? Now, obviously, if you're going for Jedi Master Kenobi, you probably already have the ship 7 stars, so you don't need to think about it. But just make sure that it's there, right? Keep in mind that that is a requirement for this, is 7-star Negotiator. You know, you go back to that journey guide in here, and you look, and it's going to be staring you right in the face, right, that you need that Negotiator at 7 stars. Or 6 stars, sorry, 6 stars. I misspoke, 6 stars. Glad I checked. Take it to 7 stars anyway. If you leave your Negotiator at 6 stars, like, you should be in prison. Like, that's just, like, criminal behavior. So those are the Rex, guys. I just want to mention something. And this is something that I see a lot of people kind of make this mistake about, right, when they get Jedi Master Kenobi, is you really have what I'll call, like, your 4 key characters for Kenobi, right? So you have your Jedi Master Kenobi, right? You got your GL. Then you're going to have Commander Tano. You're going to have General Kenobi, right? And then the last key character inside of that squad is Ahsoka Tano. Bare minimum, guys, bare minimum, these characters, right, you need to invest in Ahsoka Tano and Commander Tano. Get them to relics, right? You have to do it. This team without these 2 characters is horrible, right? It is. It's not good at all. But with them, I mean, you could put these 4 characters, right? I could leave this in a set of 4, and there are still Galactic Legends that would not beat this team, right? That's just how much better Commander Tano and Ahsoka Tano make this team. This 5th slot is where you get open for debate. You know, in Squad Arena, you'll see people use General Skywalker. In Territory Wars, you could see Padme, Mace Windu, Anakin. I've seen Cady Mundi here, right? Like, you could throw R2-D2, Shock T. I mean, there's this 5th slot can kind of become a, you know, hey, you know, there's a couple of things you can do here, right? So I wanted to mention this because similar to Lord Vader, where, like, you know, the teams that you use them with are not even part of their requirements, Kenobi's the same way. That you need to build these characters up, right? These are legitimate Rex for this farm, whether or not they're listed in the journey guide or not. So I want to leave it there, guys. I wanted to give you this, you know, hopefully this makes you, you know, I don't know, recognize just how important it is to not only build the Galactic Legend, but also the team that's best for them, right, guys? So hopefully this gives you a path forward. Hopefully you guys have been listening to me all along and that you've got your Commander Tano ready by the time you do this Jedi Master Kenobi farm. But as always, guys, smash that subscribe button. Leave a like. Leave a comment. I love all of you. May the Force be with you, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Cheers.